The president is exercising his constitutional authority to grant clemency requests. They are struggling because of the many horrible policies of the previous administration.
Binance has significant business interests with World Liberty Financial, the president's family's crypto company. How do you respond to the allegations from Democrats that this is a corrupt act?
I want to debunk some of Karoline Leavitt, as we put a lot of energy towards MAGA Mike Johnson and the mental gymnastics he's done defending this failed administration during the Trump-led shutdown, and she's just as bad. So if you can, take a moment, leave us a like on the video. It helps us out a ton. We're trying to get to 30,000 subscribers, and let's get right to it.
How will the Trump administration support those farmers?
Look, the president hears those concerns. He addressed them yesterday himself. President loves our ranchers, and our ranchers love our president. And in fact, the president did a lot for them in his first term here. They are struggling because of the many horrible policies of the previous administration. President loves our ranchers, and he also loves American consumers, and he wants to do right by both.
This is hilarious because in Trump's first term, he also had to bail out the farmers as well because, well, his trade policy hurt them massively then too. But I'm sure that was also just because of the previous administration. The problem with saying that is that agriculture was doing just fine under Biden. These are trackable metrics. And when Trump came into office, all trends showed agriculture was strong, and they literally plummeted in line with the tariffs passing because it's cutting off the markets that these farmers have to sell their products at. Like we've covered multiple times how Trump has all but decimated the soybean industry with his China tariff war, and now he's choosing Argentina over America in hopes to save these small government principles that he really wants to try here, all because his voters will let him get away with this. In reality, MAGA is just as culpable for this as he is because he fails them time and time again, but then he just points at the Democrats and says it's their fault, and he gets off penalty free.
On the pardon of Changpeng Zhao, and apologies if I'm mispronouncing that name, Binance has significant business interests with World Liberty Financial, the president's family's crypto company. How do you respond to the allegations from Democrats that this is a corrupt act?
I would respond and say the president is exercising his constitutional authority to grant clemency requests. And the president and the White House have a very thorough examination of every pardon request that comes to the president's desk. It is thoroughly reviewed by the White House Counsel Office, and I spoke with our great White House counsel about the pardon after it happened.
Okay, again, this is a guy who was willfully letting people money launder through Binance, his platform, where the group he's partnered with has enriched Trump's family to the tune of $4 billion, and now he just so happens to be getting a pardon. I wonder why. On a related but separate note, I am just curious, genuinely, how many times these people can go, but Biden, or just blame things on Democrats vaguely or specifically Trump's favorite Democrat targets, and that MAGA will buy it, right? Like at any point are they ever like, he always says this, maybe it's not true this time. But I guess critical thinking isn't a strong suit if you're going to be MAGA.
It's something the president wants to do. And Brittany, one more point, I'll just point out the irony in Democrats holding the government and the American public hostage over a healthcare system that they created. The healthcare system was called Obamacare. Why? Because Democrats and President Obama implemented. And Republicans have always said it's a broken system, yes, but they caused it, and now they want to shut down the government to fix it. We need to open the government, and then we can have these very important conversations about healthcare.
Okay, so bear with me. I have to briefly explain two concepts to get straight to the heart of why this is so dumb. First off, the problem with Obamacare and why this is currently an issue is because it still allows for privatization, which Republicans love. Essentially, Obamacare, the government just subsidizes private insurers to cover people that they otherwise wouldn't. Because of this, there are still multiple payers. The insurers are payers. This allows for the same pricing mechanism, the same pricing issues that causes insurers to charge more so they can keep their bottom line. And these subsidies also come up to expire, in which Republicans constantly prey on that in hopes to destroy Obamacare. The second part of this is without Obamacare, the elderly would have drastically higher insurance costs. So would the immunocompromised, so would people with pre-existing illnesses. Because of risk pools, right? When you pay into an insurance, your money is pooled in with everyone else who buys that insurance plan. And when you need the service, the insurance pulls money out of that pool. Now, to ensure a bottom line, they have different pay scales. They have different plans based on risk, or essentially the likelihood that you'll need to use the health insurance you're paying for, which is obviously higher for older people as they're more constantly in the hospital for checkups or what it might be. With Obamacare specifically, this is mitigated by having the elderly matched in a pool with younger people, which levels out the risk for everyone. younger people are brought up earlier on the spectrum, but then when they get older and they would have more costs, they're brought down. So throughout the basis of your life, it's leveled out. Republicans not only want to do away with the risk pool leveling out, which makes your grandparents cost more now and your cost more when you get older, they also want to lean more into privatization. So as you can see, literally none of what they're proposing solves any of the issues, and what Democrats are proposing do. They're just pointing to the issues and then trying to say, see, problems. It's pretty simple math though. They're lying.